Alright, so we've been in Italy for a while this last month. I wanted to talk about a series of movies from Indonesia, and I can't believe the first movie here is already a decade old. If you're a fan of the Conjuring movies and the Annabelle films, you'll probably enjoy these a decent amount depending on how you feel about foreign movies in the first place. But the first movie here, The Doll from 2016, very similar to The Conjuring. There are a few scenes that are ripped right out of The Conjuring. Luckily for The Doll 2 and its sequel, Sabrina, then there's The Doll 3, which is a straight Chucky child's play riff, that whole movie. But luckily for The Doll 2 and Sabrina, the director Rocky Soraya got a lot better with being more original. Even though they still do heavily emulate these films, the Conjuring universe. If you wish the Conjuring films weren't so safe, that they didn't play it safe all the time, every ending is wrapped up in a neat little bow, happy endings galore. If that bothers you and you wish the Conjuring films would take it to another level or be more brutal or dark, that's where these movies fucking excel. If you like most Asian horror, any type of Asian horror, you know how extreme they can get. And what makes Rocky Soroya's movies so special, he also has another series of films, two movies, The Third Eye and The Third Eye 2. He also directed another great movie, Suzzanna, Buried Alive, from 2017, 2018. That also got a pretty decent sequel, although Soroya didn't direct it, he produced it. This man basically became, think like the Roger Corman or Charles Band, type person from Indonesia, the Indonesian version of Corman or Charles Band. Excellent at making very low budget movies, but making them very fun and very brutal in Soroya's case here. The third act of all of his films are brutal. Things get pretty savage in the endings in the third acts of these movies. And it's great. It feels like there are actual stakes. Who is going to survive this? Will they survive this? You don't get any of that in the Conjuring movies. They defeat the demons. At the end of the day, whatever the demon of the week is for that particular movie, the Warrens come in, sweep in, those fucking con artists, save the day, end of the movie. No, it's a bloodbath. The last act of these films. And the acting, the performances, the directing, the editing, cinematography, especially the cinematography, just for being shot in Indonesia, all Indonesian films look like a bigger budget production than they actually are, just because of how beautiful the country is. And they have an absolute knack for making really creepy, demonic designs and faces and makeup. The demon makeup and the effects work, practical effects, digital effects, everything in these movies are genuinely terrifying at times because they don't look like American demons or demonic possessed people. They look uncanny if you're not, from that country, if you're not used to seeing that type of effects work and makeup in that genre of film. It looks very different and in a way that I can't really describe. You have to see it. But it's extremely effective. I'm not sure if all of the movies are still streaming on Netflix. Say what you will about Netflix. I know it gets a lot of shit for its selections, especially horror, which it mostly does have a pretty shit selection most of the time. They have done wonders for distributing a ton of foreign and Asian, a bunch of foreign movies for over a decade at least now. They are amazing at doing that. So all of these movies were on Netflix at some point. I'm pretty sure his newer film, Indigo, from a few years ago, is still on there. I'm pretty sure Sabrina, the sequel to The Doll 2, It gets weird. The Doll 1, the Doll 2 is the best by far, and it has a brutal opening. One of my favorite openings in a horror movie I can think of in a long time. But you can go right to the Doll 2 and then watch Sabrina, which is the direct continuation of that movie. And then the Chucky riff one, the Doll 3, is it's not that important to check it out unless you really enjoy the first 3 movies. But I'm not sure if the Doll 2 and the first Doll are on Netflix anymore. I think they took them off. And it might be hard to find both of them. But if you can, search them down. And if you've seen these movies, let me know what you think, because I am a big fan of Rocky Soraya's movies. And anytime I get a chance to push them, talk about them, shed some light on them, I always take it. And I realized while I was browsing, I saw Sabrina, and I said I've never talked about him or his movies or the Doll films here on TikTok. So definitely check out the Doll 2, especially, and Sabrina. And let me know if you've seen any of these.